Hello, everyone. Welcome to the book review, Letting Go the Pathway to Surrender by Dr. David Hawkins. I want to make a disclaimer one more time, as I do in most of my reviews when I begin them. This is my understanding, my perception of the book. It can be different for you, a little different for you, but from all the books I read, and when I'm reading this is my take on what Dr. David Hawkins means, and my view on things have changed a lot when I have been reading his books, and it has been very enriching. So I want to share that with you. Today we are going to talk about chapter 14, second part. We talked about the first part last week. And today we are talking about reducing stress and physical illnesses. We did this a little bit of it last week. Today we are going to talk about these topics: interventions to alleviate stress, I hope I'm saying it right, kinesiologic testing, that is called muscle testing technique, and the relationship of consciousness to stress and disease. I love the last part. So interventions to alleviate stress, right? We all know that stress is not good for us. Stress causes a lot of health issues. We talked in detail about all the health issues that are caused by stress in the previous chapters. What happens is with the intermittent shocks, we don't have to be completely stressed all the time, but we have enough stressors in the day that whether we are in traffic, whether we are like getting late to something, or not able to manage the work, release tensions, like, the work deadlines, emergencies, family's health, our health, and anything. Our car gets into an accident, we have to take it and get it repaired, whatever, right? Life happens. And with that, life happens to everybody, but the stress we take, everybody's working, but some people take a lot of stress at work, some people don't. Why is there a difference, right? It is in the perspective, how you view things, where you're vibrating, what is your emotional quotient. Based on that, your stress levels vary. And based on the stress we are taking, all those intermittent shocks, right? What they do is they suppress our immunity. It reduces endorphins. So what happens is stress blocks the immune system. When our immune system is blocked, we are easy for attack, right? Any viral fevers or anything else, our body will be attacked. We will fall sick. Anything, there are a lot of autoimmune diseases, right? Autoimmune diseases and other health, stress-related issues. It is too much. Now, the question is, I'm in constant stress. I don't know how to break the cycle, but is it possible for me to get well, right? It is possible. It is reversible. The thing is, if we have to put it in a nutshell, how do I get well from? It doesn't matter whether you have like eczema or any kind of stress related, high blood pressure, depression, anxiety, any kind of stress related health issue. You're like, no, mine is different from yours. How can we both have the same solution, right? The solution, the bottom line, is reactivating the immune system. Basically, our immune system has put its guards down. It has become weak. It lost its power to fight. What is our job? To make it strong, to reactivate the immune system. The book does talk about, there are some medications. Even last time I talked about it. So there are some medications also to boost your immune system. Actually, the people who who go through cancer, right? The treatment and everything, there is something called immunotherapy. I don't know much. This is what I read. The very little 10,000 point view from what I read. So there is something called immunotherapy where we are given treatment to build our immune system, because it goes down when you're going through a therapy or something, where like chemotherapy or something, right? So that is medically, and that is in the extreme cases. It's not a painkiller kind of pill that, oh, today I feel my immune system is down, I'll take a pill. It doesn't work that way, right? It has to go to the extremes. But before it goes to the extremes, what can we do, which is alternative to medicine, like popping pills or taking treatments, right? Meditation. The book talks about, actually, Dr. David Hawkins was the clinical advisor for a study that was made on students. They did a 6-week meditation, and they took a group of people. They took people who did not meditate and explained all the benefits of meditation, how to reduce stress, all the theory of it, right? And then they took a group of students, and they made them meditate for 6 weeks. They taught them meditation techniques, and they made them meditate for 6 weeks. And then they checked their immunoresponse for both of them before and after. And they saw that there is a increased immunity, their immunity strengthened for the focus group that did meditation, right? So clearly there are scientifically proven these days that there are so many benefits to meditation. So what it does basically is meditation helps you see things in a clear way. Otherwise, we are constantly thinking and blaming others. Oh, it's raining. Oh my God, it has to rain on the day I have to go to an interview wearing a suit. Now it will get spoiled. I don't have an umbrella. Actually, it's not in California, not at least the place I live in, it doesn't rain much. So when it rains, we honestly don't have umbrellas. And when it rains a lot, we all jump to our local store, Target, to see if there are umbrellas. They carry like one or two umbrellas. I'm not kidding, really. And we don't get an umbrella. If you have to go and buy an umbrella right away, people would have hopped. So, and you have to wait for Amazon 1 day delivery or, and umbrellas are expensive here in this local market because it is it's not available for us. So it's so funny. Of course, once you buy it, you keep it. But if it's broken or something, if you want, it's not readily available. And for us, we don't keep it readily available. We don't keep it in the car. It's somewhere hidden because it's not used at all. It's barely used, maybe once a year or something. So it's like that, right? When so for me, when it rains suddenly, or it rains and it's very inconvenient because, oh my God, I didn't prepare for this. Like, I don't have the right shoes. My shoes have, I got running shoes. I did not run though, but I got running shoes, wishful thinking. It has perforations, like it has like, to breathe. You don't get sweat on under the feet and all that. So it has, I did not know that until it rained. I was walking in the rain. I went to the store and my socks were wet. My shoes were wet. I'm like, why am I getting shoes getting wet? Because I did not, that is what I'm talking about. When you are not aware of something, right? The way you prepare for life is different based on where you are, right? So my shoes, I mean, they're all ruined with like one big rain. My shoes got ruined. I'm like, oh my God, what is this? So I can blame the rain, I can blame everything and get my life upset. But the reality is it rained. That's it. That's the only reality. What I make out of it, oh my God, my shoes got wet. Now I have to buy new shoes. What do I do? It got messed up, whatever, right? It is my reaction to it. So this meditation, what it does, it calms your mind. And the more, it's like muscle memory, right? The more repetitions I do of an exercise, the more stronger my muscles become. Similarly, how strength training is to strengthen your muscles, meditation is to strengthen your immunity system. How? When you are meditating, you're calming your mind. When you're calming your mind, the more calm your mind is, it is like ripples in a water, right? In a pond. When there are ripples, that is like all the thoughts we have, all the external stimuli. When you throw a rock in the pebble in the pond, it splatters the water and there are ripples. You can never say, the reality is, let's say I told you there are very colorful pebbles under the water. You can see it only when the water is still. But constantly everybody is throwing rocks and it's always ripples, and or they're putting their hand and shaking it. You never know, right? You never see it. So what happens is, 1 second, yeah. So what happens is, when you're meditating, you calm your mind, right? You calm your mind, and the water, the ripples, they calm down. When the ripples calm down, you see the reality, right? Unless you know the reality, you're in an illusionary world that, come on, she keeps saying that there are like colorful pebbles under the lake, under the pond. I never saw them. She is like crazy. She just says or makes up things, right? She has creative, like she's very creative. She's very, her imagination is like this, like that kind of stuff. So you think that way, right? But because you're not seeing the reality, when we do meditation, we calm our mind. We see the reality in everything around us. We see the truth everywhere. When you see the reality, when you see the truth, there are very less stressors in our life. We don't blame everything. We take the responsibility and life becomes smooth. You don't react, you respond. So meditation is the cure for all immune system related problems, weakened immune systems. It reactivates your immune system. And when you meditate, you understand, right? You understand that I have to let go of my belief systems or whatever it is, right? You let go, you surrender, you implement all the techniques you learned here in this book. And what happens when you do that is you have a more enriching life. You have a more peaceful life, inner peace, right? Yeah, if you see this poster, it says that letting go helps us to live in a more peaceful state of mind and helps restore our balance. Mainly, that is what it is. Sthita pragnatvam, right? Bhagavad Gita talks about sthita pragnatvam, equanimity. Don't be excessively happy when you get some joyful thing, and don't become extremely sad when you lose something you love, right? When this is there in our life, that's when our life is crazy because it's wobbly, it is not stable. To attain that stability, when you meditate, you understand things in the correct way, in what they are. At that point, you'll constantly let go of any. So that is called vasanas, right? Vasanas is we not able to see the reality is vasana. We not able to see the truth is vasana, because that blinds us from seeing the reality. So when you're meditating, you understand I'm doing it wrong. Like somebody yesterday, I was talking to my friend and she said that for me, when something happens, I don't cry, I shout. I have to shout at my son, at my husband, at the situation, whatever it is. For me, that's aggression and anger comes out. And I have to shout to let it out of my system. Why? Why? She knows that. See, the thing is, first thing is to be aware of your vasanas, right? Now, what happens is if she takes that scenario and she starts letting go a little by little, she starts the internal surrender, what happens is the vasanas get cleared up. Now, because if she does multiple number of times, like muscle memory, she mastered the art of how to control her anger when external stimuli happens, when something doesn't work according to her way, right? So what happens is you have cleared your vasanas. Because of your understanding, you're not creating more vasanas, at least relating to the anger spectrum. So what happens when you do that? When you do that, you're clearing your karma. What are vasanas? They create your karma, right? Based on your vasanas, how you're responding to it, that creates karma, good karma or bad karma. The idea is to clear the karma. You are acting in a certain way, you have a certain lifestyle, you have certain health issues, all because of your vasanas, right? Now, when you understand it, meditation helps you. I know I'm talking so much about meditation. I do different kinds of meditation, guided meditation. I'm yet to master the art of silent meditation. I don't know why I cannot. I tried. I'm still trying. It's a progress, like it's in progress kind of thing. But the point is, I do understand there are other ways to things as well. For me, I am an action-oriented person. I have a lot of energy. So for me to sit quietly, calmly in a meditative state is difficult. But how I understand and get aha moments is through work. I have to do a workshop. I have to do a journal. I have to take a prompt and answer the question. I get answers right away. I don't have to go into a meditative state or calm my mind or something like that. My the insights I get are very instant. So for me, I have a different route. Even though I'm not justifying why I'm not meditating, but for me, I guess I did not I'm not gravitated toward meditation as much for to practice and master silent meditation. It has always been my dream, my wish list, because I can get whatever I want. I'll get. Why do you need to meditate, right? You want answers to some questions. You have some burning questions you want answers for. How do you get answers for? I cannot, nobody can give an answer for your question because you are the one. If you come and tell me that I always argue with my spouse, husband or wife or something, right? I can give you all the advice like, wow, why are you doing this? But I can never answer your question to your satisfaction because I am not in that situation. Your husband or wife is acting in a certain way because of the external stimuli that person has around them. You, as a spouse, you understand your husband, you understand, but you want them not to react. If you tell me your side of the story, I am missing out his side of the story. So whatever answer I give to you, advice I give to you is not 100% helpful because I am not seeing this picture here. Only when I understand this picture, I can give you a valid response of, oh, here I don't think he's at fault, right? So the thing is, because nobody can give another person 100%, because we cannot see what you are going through, you have to figure out by yourself. You seek meditation because you want answers. You are fed up. You are not, let's say you went to therapy, you went to this, you talk to your friends, you talk to your parents, but you are still in problems you are not able to get out of. Then what do you do? I think I should become a marketing person for meditation. I should become a seller for the product meditation. But that is the point, right? Meditate, let go and the internal surrender. That's how you alleviate the internal stress and you boost your immune system. So muscle testing, we talked about it last time. We talked about, not last time, I think a few weeks ago, we talked about muscle testing. In the Letting Go journal, we actually did muscle testing exercise and we tried to figure out experiences and everything. What happens is a negative thought, or I don't have my washer here. So basically what I do is I do a pendulum thing. I tried to do the different techniques of that were given for muscle testing, and I prefer the pendulum thing because it is visual for me. More than feeling, visual is, I guess, I trust it more because I feel that I am messing up with the study. But a negative thought or feeling instantly weakens the body and creates an imbalance in the body's energy flow. We talked about the prana, right? The bioenergy. So what happens is this one, actually, I took this picture from a supplement store. What the supplement store, what is this supplement good for me or not? So a lot of people say, hey, you have to take vitamin D, you have to take vitamin B. It's very important, right? Well, I need to take iron. But do I need it or not? Does my body need this supplement or not? In the store, what they do is they actually have you think about that supplement. I need iron. I need vitamin D. And then they make the test for you. They do the muscle test for you. So in this test, they are talking about, in the book also, it talks about put your 2 fingers on the back of the wrist. If you're doing it with another person, right? You ask them to put their hand, close their eyes, think of the thought, and put your fingers on the wrist and push it down. And tell them that push it back, don't let me push your hand down, right? So that means they are, you see the strength of their muscle, right? When I'm conscious, I am not letting you push it back. I'm consciously doing it, then my energy. Everybody's energy is different. Their strength is different, right? Muscle strength. So you can understand first without any thought, you're asking me, don't let me push it down, right? We do this with the doctor. What they do, that's what they're doing. They're checking your muscle test. They ask you, don't push my hand down. Legs, they do that. They're checking your muscle strength, right? So you put like this, right? And then I say, don't let me push your hand down. That is the first test of I understood your basic muscle strength. Now I'll ask you to close your eyes. I'll put my fingers and I will say, think of a negative thought. I will not say, for the testing case, we can do that. Think of a negative thought and don't let me push it down. Resist it, right? Then because you're thinking a negative thought, your muscle strength has weakened because your bioenergy has weakened. It's an imbalance, right? So automatically you won't feel the same strength. Now, when you're thinking a positive thought, a happy thought, your bioenergy is good, balanced. You will see increased strength or the same strength, right? That is muscle testing. Now, muscle testing is useful for all the things. Should I take, when you're in that duality, right? Conflict in your mind, should I do this or should I not do this? Is this good for me or is it not? You can do the muscle testing by yourself and figure it out. Is this good? So sprouts are good, right? Everybody says eat sprouts, eat salad, everything. For me, my body fights a salad. I cannot eat a salad. Sprouts I tried for some time, but it messed up my digestive system for somehow. So why? I don't know. I don't know the internals of my, I don't have any major disease that tells me don't eat it, but something it doesn't sit well with me. So I can do a muscle test in front of sprouts. If you don't think, so I did this test. If you say, are sprouts good? Like, or you don't ask a question, you say, sprouts are good. If it is good, my pendulum goes. I created a pendulum with a string and I put a washer underneath it. So I can, if people are interested, if you are in the Letting Go journal, I have shared all the experiments and everything with you. But if you're not, I can share them with you. So you have a string, you have a washer underneath it, and you put, basically you're creating a pendulum, right? And then you are suspending it on the food and you're saying sprouts are good. It will go clockwise if it is true. If it is not, it will go anti-clockwise. So it went clockwise. Then I said, are sprouts good for me? It went anti-clockwise. Now, then I took a banana and then I said, is banana good? It went clockwise. Then I said, is banana good for me? It went clockwise. Then my question was, is it good for me to eat right now? Because I had a full meal, I had my dinner, I'm not hungry anymore. Is banana good for me to eat right now? It went anti-clockwise. It is good for you. It is not good for you to eat right now because you're already full. So do you understand where I'm coming? Like, in life, there are a lot of things we listen, the media, social media, these days, Instagram, Facebook, everything. Somebody does something, it works for them. Now they will make a full-blown business out of it. They'll say, this is how you should do it. This is wrong. This is bad. Everything. Is it good for me? Is it good for me in this moment? So if, let's say, somebody said, I woke up in the morning, every day morning, I drank this green, put all the greens in there, made a juice and drank it, juicing is great, everything. Is it good for you in the morning? What if what if you have some gut issues? What if you are constipated? Or what if you have people with ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, they cannot do fresh food at all because they go for diarrhea kind of thing. They cannot eat much fiber at all. So what about that? You need not have be diagnosed with ulcerative colitis or something like that, but you might be somewhere in that, fall in that structure where your body does not take greens or things like that. So muscle testing is very useful in that sense. Muscle testing is useful to see what is real for you in this moment, not generally what is real for you in this moment, right? So it tells you the mind body connection. How is my mind, how is my thought impacting my bioenergy, right? How is my mind impacting my bioenergy? Now, this is for physical things like food or is it good for me to take this job or things like that. What about emotions? What are emotions doing to us? What is a negative thought towards you doing to me? If I'm angry at you, if I'm jealous at you, if I'm prideful with you, what is that thought doing to me? The whole point is for you to catch yourself when we all go through those emotions throughout the day, right? It's impossible to say that, yeah, I'm holier than thou, I have mastered this, I don't have pride. People who say I don't have pride, I have pride. So we all have it. I'm like, it's not, oh, I don't gossip. It's like, yeah, right. I can show you at least one place, tiny place. Like people who take pride in things that they don't do, they have that. They are not aware of it. Simple and clear. That's all. Now, how do I feel against you? The negative thought that weakens my body. So I can tell. So some people justify, right? I am justified to be angry at my mom, my husband, my son because they did this to me. Is the thought justified? If you are aware, you will remember to the muscle test and see if your body's bioenergy is weakening. If it is weakening, it's not good for you. It doesn't matter what they did. It really doesn't matter what they did. I know it is very easy to say that. You came and you slapped me when I'm hosting a party. Something happened, like it's like you killed somebody, you killed my loved one. Can I forgive you? It is not about you, it is not about the act, it is about how my body is reacting to it. Is it worth it? Is it worth to be right? What is the price you are willing to pay? What is the price you are willing to pay to be right, to hold the grudge, right? That is the point. What is the price you are willing to pay by getting sick, by falling sick, by not being in balance, by creating havoc in your system, right? That is the point. So basically, learn muscle testing, identify when negative energy comes within the aura. So negative energy, the strength test, the muscle test, it also tells you, now this is all like how I'm reacting, right? What if nothing about me, there is some very strong negative energy come, even like, for sometimes when we meet people, we don't feel good, we don't get a good vibe, we are like, they are constantly messing up, like, why am I acting like this only in their presence, not when I'm with somebody else? I know this, I am better than this, but somehow in their presence I become this way, right? Or you don't even know a person, just you don't feel right when you're in a certain place, then that means what happened, the negative energy, when it is coming to your aura itself, um, you can check and you can tell. So there are a lot of benefits from muscle testing. What is the notable effect? The immediate weakening effect of the negative thought. Immediately you can feel the weakening of the muscle strength. So this is the same thing that I showed you, the two people are involved, but the catch is, you can do muscle testing, you will be able to do muscle testing, or you can understand, you will even remember, you can learn it, but you will even remember to do it when your conscious level is above courage for accurate response. We talked about the map of consciousness. We talked about the negative tendencies, shame, apathy, grief, anger, envy, jealousy, pride, right? We talked about all those things. All those are negative tendencies. After that comes courage. Courage is a level of 200, the frequency of 200. At courage, we have the capability in our Vedanta text also, it says that Hum Sattvam. In Viveka Chudamani, it talks about what are the qualities or what are the steps for spiritual progress. It is first human birth. You have to be a human to go through the karma cycle and even talk about spirituality and consciousness and everything. Second is Hum Sattvam. Hum Sattvam means the actual translation is masculinity. But what is masculinity? The strength, the masculine strength, right? Courage to face something. Courage is the place where you have the strength to fight the negative tendencies. I know I'm getting angry, but I'm going to get composed. I'm going to master it. I'm going to not linger it for longer in that period. I'm going to come out of it, bounce out of it faster. That is Pumsattvam. That is courage. When you have the courage to bounce back of any of the negative tendencies, now you are at a good level to do the muscle testing to give a correct response, right? Otherwise, you won't get it because you're all messed up. You will not, again, all these things will work when there is no self-doubt, when you're trying to test it out and like, yeah, right, this, that, you are having, what do you call it, that pride, or yeah, what is this is all bullshit, like, it's all that kind of stuff. So you need to have that authenticity to fix yourself, to help others, have the courage to come out of it. You have to be in that state, then you'll get a correct response, right? It says those who are dedicated to truth are shown the truth. You want to know the truth. You're like, yeah, let me see what happens, if this works or not. Yes, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work that way, right? Negative thoughts reduce 50% of muscle strength. That is very good for you to figure out if it is leaving. It's not just like 10%, yeah, I cannot tell. It's not like that. It's like immediate. Basic law of consciousness. We are subject only to what we hold in mind. So test with muscle test what you're holding in mind, detect if it's a positive or a negative one. If it is a negative one, balance it out. That is the exercise we need to do on a daily basis, moment by moment basis, if you want to know the truth. If you want to get you out of daldal, that kind of messy stuff. The world is like, when people say, yeah, this world is going to ruins, life is hard, nothing is like, peaceful. It's impossible for me to find peace in grihasthashramam, like, when you're dealing with family issues, like you have a spouse, you have kids, you have parents to take care of, in-laws to take care of. It's impossible. It's like everybody says it's impossible. You give up. Test it, detect it, balance it. the more you do this, as your awareness will increase, and you don't even have to do muscle testing. You will become your second nature to identify. Identification, muscle testing is to identify what is good for you and what is not good for you. The more you do it, you realize that you catch yourself and then you move forward, right? Body will respond to what we believe, right? And what is stressful to us is subjective. What is stressful to me might not be stressful to you. If you see in the fan companies here, right, the people who work, they work crazy hours. Why? They signed up for it. If you cannot take stress, don't join those companies. They pay you handsomely, but a lot of stress comes with it. So is every single employee who is working in fan companies stressed out? No, they are not. Why? Because they know how to balance out the stress. They know how to not take stress, right? So what is stressful for me might not be stressful for you. So it is subjective. You cannot brand everything as the traffic, driving in traffic is stressful. No, some people hear to nice podcasts and they say that I'm glad there is traffic because I'm able to pull in 1 hour of podcast. It's how you see the world, right? We all have unconscious and conscious beliefs. So you can say that I believe that something is true or this is good. You grew up with this unconscious belief that it is not good, but consciously, with all the books you're reading, your education, you're surrounded by good people, they say this, yes, so you consciously feel that this is true, but unconscious belief, we have a lot of unconscious beliefs with which we are, because of how we were raised, the circumstances around us, the environment around us has created a lot of unconscious beliefs. And believe me, we are working mostly based on that unconscious beliefs. That's why if your world is in chaos, you are working on unconscious beliefs. You're like, no, it's not like this, right? Muscle test also shows you that unconscious belief, because bioenergy does not know whether it is unconscious or conscious belief. It sees what you're thinking in that time, and your mind unconsciously is thinking about something completely opposite to your conscious belief, right? So it is a good way to understand what your unconscious beliefs are. Like, I believe exercising is good for health, but there is some reason I'm not able to hit the gym at all. I don't know the resistance. Then there is some unconscious belief there. So do the muscle testing to see, do I believe is exercising good for me? It right away shows it's not good for you. Or you believe that it's not good for you, it will say it is not good for you. Now it is, you have to understand, why do I have this belief that it is not good for me, right? Now you explore in that way. See, consciously I want to heal, but unconsciously attached to the payoffs of illnesses. If I consciously want to heal, why am I still sick? Because there is some payoff I'm attached to that illness is giving me. Maybe I'm getting a lot of sympathy from everybody around. Maybe I can justify not working hard because of that. Maybe I can justify to say that, to cop out of things, right? I don't want to do this because I'm too sick. So maybe I'm attached to those. I want those luxuries. I see them as luxuries and I want them. So I want the payoffs of the illnesses. So unconsciously, I'm holding on to them. I'm not letting go. And that's why my sickness is not going away. Who knows, right? Simple muscle test reveals the truth of the matter. So the relationship of consciousness to stress and disease. So stress proneness and vulnerability are directly related to our general level of emotional functioning. What are your emotions right now, right? That will tell you, will you be stress prone or not, right? If you are at the level of courage, if you are at the level of neutrality, accepting everything that comes your way, you see things as an opportunity to solve the problem and move forward. You see everything as an opportunity to learn and grow, then those won't become stressful things for you. You are actually excited. You are looking forward to them, right? The higher we are on the scale of consciousness, the less we respond with stressful reaction, right? Now here, he has given an example of every single emotion, based on which emotion you are, what happened in the same situation, how would you react, right? Example, we parked our car, and just as we get out, the car parked in front of us backs up into our car with a thud, right? Our bumper and the front of the fender are dented. That is what happened. That is the reality. That is the event that happened. An incident happened. Now, Somebody with shame, if you are vibrating at the frequency of shame, they will say, how embarrassing. I'm such a lousy driver. I can't even park a car. I'll never amount to anything. We have come across ourselves being in that situation where we are ashamed of ourselves for certain things and always talk about that way. Or we have seen people around us, right? And we try to talk them out. We are like, come on, it's not your fault. Somebody comes and bumps into your car. What is your fault? Right? And then if you're in the form of guilt, you'll be like, I had it coming. How stupid I am. I should have done a better job parking. Guilt means we are always taking it on us. I did something wrong, right? Apathy means hopelessness. What's the use? Things like this always happen to me. I probably won't collect on the insurance anyway. There is no use talking to the guy. He'll just sue me, life stakes. So what is the action we have to do when this incident happens? We have to talk to the driver. We have to take their insurance details, right? And then we have to file a claim. Then you will get, based on what happened, you will get paid by the insurance of the other company and you will take your car to the designated location, mechanic store, and you'll get it fixed. That's the sequence of events that should happen after this incident. But you are like, when you're hopeless, right, in this situation, you won't even do the action because you're like, what's the point? It always happens to me. My life sucks. I don't think there is any point of taking the insurance also, right? When you're in grief, you are like, now the car is ruined. It will never be the same. Life is grim. I will probably lose a bundle on this one, right? That's how you react based on which emotional state you are in for the same situation. The truth is you got hit. Your car got hit from the back. Life happens. Things happen. That is the truth. This is Maya. This is illusion. Based on which emotional state you are in, you are reacting that way. Your world becomes, that is how you have created your reality. That is how you have created your reality. And that's the story you tell people. So the same thing, when I see it from there, I see that an incident, I'm not emotionally invested with you. Let's say I'm some other driver who parked my car on that and I have seen the incident happened. I have seen as an observer what is the reality. But you are responding to this way based on your emotional state. You have created your own reality and your reality is different from mine. That is Maya, that is illusion. Different levels of consciousness think and see it in a different way. If you're in fear, it says, this guy is probably furious. I'm afraid he'll hit me. Let's say he's a big guy who with tattoos and everything and he comes out. I just assume that, oh my God, should I even collect anything from? Should I stay away from him? Like the biases, the unconscious biases we have based on the appearance of the people. If we have fear, we will not do it. We'll not even go close, right? Desire, if you're a greedy person, then you'll be like, you know what? I can make a bundle on this one. Let me see how to frame it in a way that I can get even more money than I would usually get, right? And I will take to some cheaper place. I'll get it fixed, but I will reap a lot of money. That is desire. Anger is, you will yell at that person, you'll be like, oh my God, I'll punch his nose, kind of stuff. That is anger. That's so much like, if you fought with somebody in the house and you came and you're driving and something like this happened, you're furious, right? That's what you do. Pride, then you talk about, oh my God, this useless driver, he's driving a Honda. I have a BMW. Does he even know what it doesn't matter. You hit a car. If it's BMW, it's Honda, it doesn't matter. The incident is that. If you're prideful, you see it that way with the status, pride of status, right? If you're in courage, then you're going to see it as, oh, well, we have both got insurance, right? I'll take down the data and handle it. Okay. A nuisance, but I can handle it. I will talk to the driver and get it settled out of court. That is what courage, a person who is in courage takes it. Now, when we go to the higher levels of consciousness, courage is still okay. He's like, that's fine. This happened. It happens. Let's share our insurance. We'll go think about it, right? It has to be done. I know it's a nuisance, but it has to be done. Dust it off. Yes. Oh God, this happened. Dust it off. Move on with your life. That is courage. When it comes to neutrality, willingness, acceptance, reason, love. Let's see how that changes. How you see the same reality, same incident, how differently you see it. In neutrality, you say these things happen in life. You can't drive 220,000 miles a year without an occasional fender bender. It happens. Life happens. It's okay. That is neutrality. You're like, you're accepting it. Willingness. How can I help that when you have willingness, you are always thinking about how can I help the other person? How can I help the situation get better? How can I make the world get better? That is willingness. Willingness is not just accepting it. Neutrality is accepting the situation, acceptance. Willingness is going one step forward and saying, what can I do to help? How can I bring a positive change? How can I help the guy calm down? Because the other guy, it's the mistake of the other guy. Now that guy is like, what if that's a student? Their parent will take the car away from them, their insurance premium will go high, they have to pay it for the rest of their this thing. Like, what if they are shocked? Oh my God, I don't even know what to tell. This is not even my car, my mom's car. What am I? My intention would be, how can I calm that person? What if my son did this, right? So that is willingness. Okay. Acceptance is, it could have been worse. This, like my grandma, my mom, everybody says, like, and when I was in, actually, I studied my +2 in St. Francis Junior College in Secunderabad. At that time, it used to be, I don't know how it is right now, but it used to be one of the prestigious colleges in Hyderabad. We had a morning prayer. Mother used to come and say something good to us every day in the assembly. And there is always a piece of good news in anything that happens. You have to see it, that's all. And God always loves you. And he always tries to protect you. Let's say the car hit. You have to say God has protected you from making it worse. He's always protecting you. It could have been worse. What if it's a parked car. What if you were in motion and then the car hit you? You might have gotten a whiplash. More things, right? So acceptance is always saying that it could have been worse, right? At least nobody's hurt. It's only money anyway, right? The insurance company will take care of it. I suppose the guy's upset. That's only natural, right? Such things just can't be helped. Thank God I'm not running this universe. It's only a minor nuisance. That is acceptance. Now, reason is, let's be a practical here. I would like to take care of it as quickly as possible so I can get on with the day's activities. What's the most efficient way to resolve a problem? If you see here, they are seeing action, right? What can I do to make it resolve the situation? A problem has come, resolve it. If you're in any of the lower tendencies, you are so busy being in that lower tendency that you don't take care of what should be done. So it becomes a mess. Every day you're going in, you're looking at the fender bender, you're getting upset, you're reliving the moment. You're like, what could I have done differently? Why? You are in the spiral of things you're ruining every day because of what happened, right? If you have love, then you are like, I hope that it's not that if you have love, we all have love, we are not seeing it or we are not using it or we are not realizing it, right? I hope the guy isn't upset. I will calm him down, right? Relax. It's all okay. You take care of that. There is nothing to be upset about. You reassure the person, right? You try to see how you can help the other person calm them down. That's what you do when you are at the place of love. Now, peace is the ultimate, right? When you have reached peace, you have mastered the art of everything. You don't even get into lower tendencies at all. You won't even feel those lower tendencies when you have reached the state of peace. So what you'll do is you will say it's a fortune, right? I was going to have the rattle in the bumper fixed. So basically they say that everything happens for a reason. This guy says that I have a rattle in the bumper. I have to get fix it. Universe has just given me the chance to, it has given a little dent, but with that, I'm going to go and get that fixed as well. So it has actually solved my problem. This happened for me, right? And you are like, when you are in reality, you'll see that life is happening for you. And then when you are in that mode, you see everything very clearly, right? And you like, walks of humming with a new friend and you make friends with them. You try to see that person as a person and not as somebody, an offender, right? You see all that and then you walk away. Nothing, as if nothing happened in your life. If somebody met you at work after 5 minutes, you won't even know that this guy experienced this. Similarly, if you see some people, you will know that, hey, what happened? Are you okay? You look all frustrated. What happened? That's how it is. Self-reinforcing system of illusions. This is what it is. When I said Maya, right? I understood. I'm extremely glad. I understood what is Sthita Pragnatvam, why we should be in a balanced state after reading You Forever book. I understood what is Maya after reading this book. I'm so, so grateful because I like how they put it. I understand. Limits like fear is often an illusion. So that's what Michael Jordan, right? If you see any of the athletes, actually recently I've seen this movie called Point Broken. And it is about extreme athletics. There are people who are extreme athletes who do crazy stuff, crazy stuff, crazy skiing, crazy surfing. They surf in the storms. In the storm, when the ocean is going through a storm, they surf at that time. They say that there is one, what is it called? Ozaki's 8 or something. There is a belief, there's this guy who thought there are 8 things like ocean, sky, going through they actually dive, they jump um, out of a plane, like, and then where do they go? In Mexico, it seems there is some open cave kind of thing in the earth, which is very, very deep. So what they do is they jump from the air, they fall all the way down, they go directly, they what do you call it? They plan it in a way that they are going underneath the earth into it. So they have gone from one medium to the other. They have passed those 2 things like this, that, if you see it, it's very like Zen like stuff what they are trying to do. But there are 8 things, and their belief is if you do those 8 things, you'll get nirvana. So there is these people, they do that at any cost. Of course, the movie is like a little dramatic on what happens and everything, but you have to see that if a human has a potential to do it, his thought of I want nirvana, I want to do this, what is driving that person to do it? What is driving that person to go to the highest of the cliffs and do, like, skiing, ice skiing from there? There is no fear. So how is it that they don't even survive? Fear is needed for survival. But to what extent? To what extent are we limiting ourselves because we are scared of a lot of things, right? So if I am scared of something and I have created a bubble that I cannot go beyond this because it is scary, that is I have created that illusion. I have created that reality of mine, which is an illusion, which is not reality. That is what it means, that you create your own illusions. You are living in your own world of Maya. That is what it is. The fact is there. Events, incidents in life are happening. People are dying. People are diagnosed with diseases. That is all true. People are taking birth. People are dying. People are getting sick. People are getting promoted. All that is true. What is illusion? What is illusion is how you see it. The vantage point. The more you're higher in the map of consciousness, you are at a vantage point to see the reality. If you're seeing my house is on fire, let's say there is brush fire. In California, we have, touchwood, we didn't have fires in the nearby place for the past 3-4 years, but we always have boxes. Like, I literally have boxes in my office. If there is fire, I'll take only those 2 boxes and get out of the house, nothing else. I'm okay if everything else goes. What are there in those boxes? Hard copies of photographs, videos that we did not make digital yet. Those are the only things that I'll miss. Everything else, I can call the credit card companies, I call my passport, I can get everything redone. These are memories which I cannot. The bare minimum stuff. You take 1 box, get out of the house. And of course, all the people, right? So when there is fire in my house, I am so busy stopping the fire within my house that I feel that is the worst thing, right? But a firefighter, when he sees the vantage point, the thing they know about with their experience, they are not even coming to our house to help. They are going to somebody else's houses to go to help. We are like, oh my God, is it crazy? Why is my life like this? Why is the firefighter not coming to me? Because they know, based on the house structure, how old your house is, how new your house is, and all that, they know which ones are more prone to become, like, more vulnerable, and others are not, and they will help along with that. If you go in an aircraft above, you will see the 10,000-foot view. How many houses are on fire? How much area is on fire? So based on the vantage point, your view is very different. Your reaction is very different. Based on who you are, if you're a firefighter, your response is very different. You're inside the house, your response is very different, right? So actually, they were talking about this. We had power cuts. We had 3 or 4 PG&E outages. We don't have power cuts at all. Like mostly none, maybe once in a year or something. This year, in 1 month, we had 3 power cuts. People were talking about, you know what, come on, guys, it's just a power cut. Live with it. Why are you so entitled in this thing, right? Then one guy responded saying that it is important for you when somebody is on a ventilator in your house. That like blew my head off. I never thought about it. Even I thought that why are people complaining so much? Put a candle and live with it, right? For 4 hours, it's okay. But then they said, the guy who was frustrated said, you will understand the value of electricity when you have somebody on a ventilator in the house and the ventilator stops because it's running through electricity. You have to plug it in for the ventilator to work. Then what? Right? So do you see how the reality differs based on your situation? That does not mean that guy is always in fear because a power cut might lose somebody's life. You are not. Why? You don't have that problem, right? It is not, I'm not saying one is real and one is not. I'm just saying that based on what we are holding in our mind, our perception to things change. My reality changes. I'm creating my own reality. That is Maya. Because I am not seeing the actual fact, actual incident just as is. I have a veil of my emotional presence that is showing me something else, that is making me experience things in a different way, right? Suppressed feelings determine our belief system. That's why we have to understand our emotions. We have to bring them up to the surface. We have to analyze them and we have to let go of them. We have to surrender them. We have to embrace them, right? That is what we do in mirror work and shadow work and all these things, where that's what I was saying. When I'm a person of action, these things you will understand when you sit in meditation also. Why am I feeling like this? Calm your mind. You will get your answer if you are a seasoned meditator, right? You understand to calm down your mind very quickly and understand it. If you are not somebody who can get into meditation that quickly, then at least do some physical exercises where it is same like this, right? Some kids are inherently very smart. They can do math like this. Some kids who are not smart, they do hard work. They do lot of lot of practice problems and they become smart. Through hard work and attitude, also they become smart. So if you are not inherently smart enough to do meditation, then do the hard work way, do the workshops, figure out what is wrong, right? And with practice, you will learn that we are blaming stuff. Whenever we are not seeing the reality, we are not taking the responsibility. We are thinking that the external world is causing us problems. We are blaming them all the time, right? When we are doing that, we are living in an illusion. We experience our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs projected onto the world, causing what we see to happen. It is our projection. It is our projection. The world is our projection based on our emotional mindset. What is my emotional quotient right now? I am projecting that. That is what is mirror work, right? World is my projection. I am projecting on you. If I say you are a certain person, it is my projection of you. Because why is it that some people can get along with the same person very easily while I'm not able to get along with that person? Why is it? What is it that I'm seeing that they are not? Right? It is based on my belief system. So I had this amazing aha moment yesterday. I read this book before, last year, January. I kind of understood, but when I'm doing the deep dive, I understood and I was like looking for a illusion slide. I'm like, okay, now I get it. Now I get it why they say world is Maya. Everything is Maya. Now I get it, right? So this has been a very, very aha moment, like amazing, amazing revelation for me. So which level am I? All right. We have experienced all levels by now. We have experienced shame, grief, anger, apathy, jealousy, pride, envy. We all have experienced all of it, right? Usually, we tend to operate primarily at one level for long periods of time, depending on our situations. Let's say I have a husband who gets mad all the time or who gets frustrated all the time. Then if I'm playing the victim card, then I will tend to stay in that, it's a principle of inertia, right? Unless I take action to do something about it, I will stay in that state for a longer time. An external stimulus has to come to shake up that thought, that belief system, for me to break that cycle. Until then, I am doing that, right? Preoccupied with survival in its subtle forms. All the fear, anger, desire, or the emotions for survival form, I'm somehow trying to make it work. When people say, you know what, this happens, I'm trying to make it work. That's what it is. Right? Now, how do I break the cycle? How do I get out of that is what our approach is to do all the work, right? All the inner work, to do meditation, to do your spiritual practices, is to break that cycle and come out and to a level where I am in a state of lovingness, right? Because that is the most survival tool. That will help you survive anything and everything. The love, affection, caring for another being, and companionship that go along with having a dog mitigate the negative effects of stress. So he talked about having a pet, right? Because why? He's using the example of a pet because pets have unconditional love. But the thing is, when you have a dog, your dog is not responding to you with your attitude, right? When you are indifferent, when you are angry, nobody is telling you. The dog is not telling you, it's unconditional love. What we can learn from pets is no matter how the other person is, can I give you unconditional love? No matter how you are with me, can I give you unconditional love? Right? If I come to a state of giving unconditional love, I can mitigate the negative effects of stress. Right? Love stimulates endorphins and life energy, bringing the healthy healing balm to stress-prone lives. So it is, love is literally the healing balm. It is going to cure for everything, right? So that's what it is. So we have to, our constant effort should be, how can I go to the state of love? How can I see something in this person? What is it that I can love in this person? So anytime you are in, what do you call it, state of not a good emotion for another person, try to see, is there any good in this person? First of all, why did I make friends with this? There is, because initially we make friends with people, we connect with them, we create relationships because there is something good we saw in them, right? That good is still there, but it is clouded because the people say people change, right? Oh, he was like this before I got married, now he changed. Why? Because life happened. But still, the innate qualities for which you connected with that person, they still are the same. So it is up to you. Do you want to help that person? If you see that person as struggling, then can you help that person get out? Otherwise, can I just take the person as, yes, he has these problems, he's working towards it. Like, Vidya Balan in an interview was saying that before she got married, she didn't want to get married because she saw that all the people who got married were domesticated and they were like, they did not have good experiences and they could not voice out whatever, right? But she's having a beautiful relationship with her husband right now because she says, we all have differences. I get angry at him. We disagree on things. But if you decide to live with this person, do you want to live with this person or not? If you want to live with this person, there is no choice. Then every other thing will become trivial. It's like, okay, we'll deal with it. It's not a big deal. It is the bigger choice is, do you want to stay with that person? Once you made that mind that I want to stay with this person, then what do I do to fix the situation or to make it better? Or it's okay to have differences. Don't expect it to be all the lovey-dovey things that, oh, we are always cuddly. We are like, we never fight with each other. That doesn't work, right? You agree to disagree on things, but how do you make it more, what do you call it? Calm, in a calm way, right? So how will you bounce back from that? Are you like holding on to it or are you letting it go? Are you surrendering it? Based on that, your quality of life is present, right? So that is the end of the topic for today. We are going to come to chapter 15, relationship between body and mind, next week.